Today I will show you how I made this power pole generator. So the first part of the tutorial will be the how I made the wires and how I made them sag. The second part of the tutorial will be how I made these poles here. So well, obviously it starts with a curve. Next you use the orientation on curve node because well I need the orientation. Now next on each of these points here you copy these points here. I will show them later how I got them, but these are the points which from which the wires are like connected. And with this vex code each of them gets a separate group. So yeah, copy the point, and with we use the separate group with this add node to make each of them into a separate line. You go like polygons by group and then one of the groups here. So right now each of these curves is a single primitive. Like this whole right one is a single primitive and this whole left one is a single primitive. It needs to be separate ones, so I use the convert type node to make each of these segments its own primitive. Now why did I do that? Because the next one, the next node I used was resample, because well, first of all I want the extra points, and second of all I use the curve U attribute here. For those that don't know what the curve U attribute does, it represents the points position along the curve, which means that at the start of the curve it's 0, at the end of the curve it's 1, and at the center of the curve it's 0.5. Now the thing with this is that it works per primitive. So in that single primitive it's going from 0 to 1. Now the problem is, right now imagine that this is our whole power line right now, and this is one whole primitive. So that means that currently our this value is 0 and this value is 1 and this value is 0.5. We do not want that. What we want is something like this. Okay, now it might be a bit hard to understand, but anyway, it goes here from 0 to 1, then again 0 to 1, and then 0 to 1. Now this point is 1, and the next one is 0.2, because well this point here is like the end of this curve and the start of this curve at the same time, so it kind of shares it or something like that, but this one is prioritized, so it's actually 1. Now the next step would be this. So you take the position y of the position and you subtract it with sine of the curve U multiplied by this. This is the pi constant, and then multiply by amplitude. So the reason why you multiply the pi here, I actually do not know exactly the reason why, but with sines and all that kind of stuff, pi is kind of a magic number and stuff. So if something doesn't work, you can just try using you can try to like multiply it with pi or something. while recording this, I realized that the smooth node actually doesn't do shit, so you can just delete it. But the next, you should just do a sweep node, use the round tube surface shape, and yeah, increase the radius. Oh, and also do not forget the end cap. Use the grid end cap because, well, then it will do like this little circle, like sphere thing. Because otherwise it would just be like a flat plane, which doesn't look that good in my opinion. But it's such a small detail that it probably doesn't really matter. Okay, now in the sweep node, also compute UVs and override any existing UVs, because for some reason for me I need to use it, because yeah, it doesn't work without it. Now the Unreal material, I'm not even gonna explain this because, well, there are quite a bit of tutorials already out there how to use Unreal materials in Houdini. Okay, now for the actual power pole. This is going to be pretty easy because, well, it's mostly just cubes and circles. But let's start with here. This is the, you know, the coil thing or whatever. Start with a cylinder. Yeah, you use the edit node to move this point up a bit, and yeah, give some more normals, because for me it seemed like they fucked up the normals a bit, so I used it, but shouldn't really matter that much. And also the auto UV for the UVs. And then you use the helix spiral generator, whatever it's called, and sweep that shit. Also create some normals. Oh, also this quick little trick that you can use. The thing with cables and ropes and stuff is that it requires quite a bit of points for it to look good and smooth. So a little trick that I have found is that you can use the normal node and increase the cusp angle until it seems much more smoother now, until, well, yeah, I would say the difference is quite huge. For the next step, just merge it and group the tip here. You can use it by displaying point numbers here, looking for the point number that's you know, highest here, and just putting the number here into the base group. Oh, and also don't forget to change the group type to points, and, well, the name doesn't really matter. I transformed it here so that it would be as high as the plank here, and then I mirrored it so that it would be on this side too. This transform here is because of its reference from this transform, and I used it because I have wanted to make the specific Unreal material here. So yeah. Okay, for this next step, just take a box node, resize it to the size that you want, then transform it into as high as you want, and then auto UV and UV transform. I used UV transform because, well, I wanted the texture to be well, I wanted to try to rotate the texture a bit, but you should yourself look if you want to rotate it or not. It's up to you. Now the box. This is super easy too. You just, well, bend it to your needs and then rotate it. Oh, and also mirror it, merge it, transform it, and yeah, now the pole here is just a line, and then I sweep the line. Also, don't forget to compute UVs and round tube and end cap single polygon, and also the under material. Now also use the I use the transform to make the pole bigger, but hey, you choose it if you want to make it bigger or not. And I also forgot to say that here I made this tip group, right? Well, here in this blast node I used the tip, but used the delete non-selected, so that only these tips remain, and these were the points that connect the wires. Now for the next step, I used an attribute wrangle on these points here. While recording, I realized that I should have put the attribute wrangle points into here too. So make sure to do that, because it's important. But what did I do in this attribute wrangle? First of all, this thing here means that the y-axis of all the normals will always be 0. I didn't want the normals to have any kind of y-axis, because it just fucks up the orientation. And also I wanted the up vector to always be like this. And the reason why I did this thing here is that let me show you. See, when you move the curves a bit up or down, this is the result that you want, right? Now, this is the result that you would otherwise get without the attribute wrangle. So yeah. Well, anyway, use the copy the points on these points and merge it all together, and that's the whole tutorial.